Hi there, Nate Urandi, Orion Training Systems. Hope this finds you doing well. Uh, got my Olo Alaya t-shirt on and my Costa Rica hat on. It's going to be a while before we get back there. This is my favorite brew pub in Playa Guiones. If you ever make it there, then you got to go. It's a great place. Um, we'll get back there, just don't know when, but it's coming. You know, my wife and I went out for a walk yesterday, and something struck me, and so it just made sense for me to touch on it here. It felt weird seeing people out and about in a more normal way. So restaurants are starting to open up, so people are sitting outside in outdoor seating, in some cases even indoor seating, quite frankly. And it looks like a normal day strolling along the Pearl Street Mall in some cases. And it felt weird to think that that was weird. And so I thought, man, what's going on here? It made me take a step back and consider how this pandemic has impacted my life. Not my life, my life, my. And so I want you to take a step back as you watch this and think about how this has impacted your life. Not your life, your life. This isn't meant to be right or wrong, good or bad, my way is better than your way is better than my way, those people are, idiots or crazy or anything like that. Everybody's risk continuum is completely different for myriad reasons, but we can all take a step back and use a little bit of fresh perspective here. So I want to just talk about a few behaviors that I've realized. The other day I went out and we have a front gate, and I walk out my gate, turn right, and I start walking into town, which is only a few blocks away. And there's a wooden split rail fence in front of our yard and the next couple homes as well. And it's on my right, and coming towards me was this older couple. They have their masks on and they're walking side by side, no problem. And as I literally take my third step in their direction, they go out into the grass, the big grassy area between the sidewalk and the street. No problem. But as they pass by me, the man says, 6 feet. And he says it in a really angry way. I didn't say anything. I didn't even acknowledge it. But what struck me was hey, I got a fence right here. Where am I going to go? They provided the space, and yet it was my fault that there wasn't 6 feet between us until they provided it. I just found that really weird. Another situation is I was starting a run. I was a block or two into a run, and early in the morning, nobody out and about. It was like 6 a.m. And another jogger was coming towards me, a runner was coming towards me. And we're probably 100 feet apart, call it half a block. And I see her, she's looking down, she looks up, she sees me, and we're still 50, 75 feet apart. And it was like she got body checked in a hockey game. She makes a tangential beeline out into the street and produces about 40 feet of buffer between the two of us for when we finally cross paths. And I just was like, wow, that's really weird. And again, I'm not judging her, I'm judging the behavior. And so what I'm finding is that we're seeing isolationist expectations in public arenas. There's stories like this that abound. A friend of mine was in his alleyway throwing garbage out, and this elderly lady is walking through the alley, and she starts berating him for invading her space. She said she walks through the alleys to avoid contact with people. He's like, this is my house. I'm coming out to put garbage in the garbage container. What do you expect me to do? So what I'm getting at is we have now hit it where this is a habit, and there's a resignation and an acceptance of the infringement on personal space, personal way of doing things, our basic humanity, if you ask me. You know, people without masks that I come across are very open still. They smile, they wave, they say hi. They are genuinely in a pleasant frame of mind. Some people with masks, who wear masks, out and about all the time, are the same way. Absolutely. You can see it in their eyes. They're smiling, they're engaging. As long as you're just passing by them, it's like things are normal except for the fact that they're wearing a mask. But the majority of people who are wearing masks, they're cowering. They are fleeing to create unnecessary space. They are shrinking down and away as they pass by you. They're brittle. They're afraid. They're submissive. They're cowed. And I see this behavior and I'm like, this is not how these people normally act. You know, this is that resignation of infringement that's now become a habit. It is how this is impacting their lives. And it's sad, quite frankly, to me. All of us can strive for greater normalcy and call it what you will, inner peace, serenity, whatever you'd like to call it. But people have given up certain things and they now exist in a completely different way than they did 2 months ago, and it's quite shocking to me. So again, not right or wrong, not good or bad, but when you think about how you're currently acting and accepting or resisting what's going on in the world right now, especially your part of the world, because every country's different. In the U.S., many states are doing this differently and so forth. But when you take that step back and think about it, how has this really impacted your life? How are you now acting completely differently than you used to? And are you okay with that? If you are, keep doing it. If you're not, have that moment of reflection and make some changes so that you're in a better, happier, healthier place. So I'll leave you with that. And as always, happy training.